Don't let anyone tell you who you are or what you're worth. 'Cause we, the Death Riders, don't care who you are, where you're from, what you did, as long as you love us. Backstreet Boys, badass. I'm John Rectum with my review of AEW Collision from the Showwear Center in Kent, Washington. I'm about 90 minutes away from Kent, Washington. I did not go to this show in Kent, Washington. I'm not going to Wednesday's Dynamite and Collision taping that's also in Kent, Washington. I've been to Kent, Washington multiple times, and honestly, I'm good never going back. All due respect to the citizens of Kent, Washington, some of which I assume were in the crowd. It isn't Seattle, by the way. Kent is like about 20 miles south and, well, east of Seattle, but nevertheless. So the capacity for this particular venue is 6,500. They had maybe 2,000 people there. Maybe they'll have more for Dynamite. I hope so. Bless the people for trying to make as much noise as possible. Man, that place looked, sounded, and felt empty just from watching it on television. So I will say that the next AEW pay-per-view, or show rather, I go to, if they end up having Wrestle Dream, in this state, as long as it's within driving distance, I'll end up going, but just due to a variety of things, such as burnout and an unwillingness to basically make like a 4-hour round trip, because it would have taken a lot longer to get out of there than it would have taken to get there. That's just pretty much why I decided to watch it at home. Also, I've been going through some personal things. I'll just say that much. But that being said, Moxley and Yuta were in the parking lot. I mean, literally right outside the arena, because there's like a street right in front of the goddamn little arena, and there was even like a blue truck towing a goddamn RV like trailer. Like, we're going camping. Ethel, we're on the television. I don't think they talk like that in Kent, but nevertheless. So Moxley took on the lovely AR Fox. Moxley's work on the mic, in the ring, has been rotten for the last year plus. Terrible. He has not been the biggest detriment ever to AEW programming. He's not Chris Jericho or various other people, but my God, Moxley's lack of selling, his inability to sell, the fact that his matches are just rotten. Fox did a nice hold on to the ropes, flipping over, hit a stomp. Yuta's fucking rotten because he's Wheeler fucking Yuta. And a choke wins it, and then a DDT afterwards, and then Moxley proceeds to just spout a bunch of goddamn nonsense where it doesn't mean anything, and Hangman squandered his opportunities. Says the guy that's literally been handed every goddamn opportunity. Just been handed opportunities by Tony for months and years on end. So there we are. And then Arena Mexico clips. I will say that the Grand Slam Mexico crowd was fucking incredible. And then we get Adam Cole, baby, Roderick Strong, Daniel Garcia, and Bandito against Takeshita, Fletcher, as well as FTR. Stokely tried to antagonize some of the fans, and I have a feeling that some of the citizens of Kent can easily take Stokely. This is like the 6th time that they've had Cole and Fletcher on opposite sides of multi-man matches since, I think, Double or Nothing. Which wasn't that long ago, by the way, even though it seems like forever ago. Just do everything for a while. That's basically what they did. There was nothing necessarily wrong with this match if you like this sort of thing, but this was very much a filler episode. And boy, do I have some questions about some of the choices they made for some of the people they had on this a little later. But Strong got pinned. Moving on from that, just please have Fletcher beat Cole at All In. No offense against Adam Cole. You get the TNT Championship on somebody that actually probably could, benefit from having a title and also can make it work. The heels attack afterwards, and then the Outrunners run in. And Cash seems a little bit surprised. Even though they've been full-fledged heels for a while, and the Outrunners have been full-fledged faces. Hey, we worked out together, what the hell? So 2 guys run off 4. Well, 4.5, because Stokely was there. Whatever. Thunder Rosa gets a little bit of mic time along with the other women, and then the other women proceed to talk, because we're getting an 8-woman all-star tag team later. Recast of Mercedes at Grand Slam. I hit mute because I refuse to listen to Mercedes talk. I'm sorry, I just don't buy into her shit. Swerve took on Shane Taylor, who had the infantry, Lee Moriarty, and Trish Adora. I thought Trish Adora was part of the infantry, but I digress. And
Swerve had Nana, so it was about even given how ineffective the four were that were in Shane Taylor's corner. Shane Taylor apparently had his group was taking bets on, if he'd win or something. Tony Schiavone even got in on this. What was this and why was this happening? This is like this is like, 500, like a 500 seat venue, thing that you would do. Just throw some money on there, just have a little bit of fun. And I've seen that happen where we throw money in the ring to, the people. I mean, not being disrespectful, but this is like $100 bills. Probably Tony Khan's like, hey, sure, I got a whole bunch of money. Just do this. And then Nana steals the goddamn money at one point. There's Defy chance because there's a good contingent of Defy Northwest Wrestling fans there. They probably would have been better off running this in historic Washington Hall, even though it would have only been about 500 people, but still. Swerve ended up winning. I think Shane Taylor might have hurt his arm. Hopefully he's all right. And yeah, there you are. That's about it. And then Nana had the money and they were doing something and balling it up. And I mean, Swerve got a good reaction. Toni Storm is now Carmen Sandiego. And she addresses the fans, calls Mercedes one of the greatest. They boo. And she vows to eat Mercedes alive. I'm not sure what she's trying to eat. This kept going. Talks about the belt on her bosom. And that I make magic happen. Bless Toni. She is into this, and I give her credit. I don't necessarily know what the fuck she said, but she had the meager-sized crowd in the palm of her hand. Willow Nightingale, Mark Briscoe, and Hologram took on the MXM collection, as well as Taya Valkyrie, with Johnny TV in the corner. Bless the women for trying to make the most of this. Briscoe, he still gets good reactions, but he's a lost cause. Hologram is just there. The MXM are committed to the gimmick. Hologram hits a spin. We get a bunch of dives. Briscoe ends up getting the victory, so at least there's that. I didn't hate this necessarily, but it was just a filler match. And Statlander is upset about not getting attention. And Wheeler Yuta in a stupid haircut and stupid beard and equally stupid derpy face. He shows up. And she shoves Yuta and slams him right into a goddamn guardrail. Just happens to be over there. And then Statlander gets all scared and shaking at Moxley. I think Statlander could take Moxley in a fight. But then he says, don't ever let anybody tell you who you are or what you're worth. Do not put Statlander in the fucking Death Riders. All this, it's so bad. This Death Rider stuff is so bad. Callis shows up, and somehow Kent got scuzzier, which is saying something, and takes a microphone from Schiavone, and he just spouts nonsense. None of the stuff with Callis really feels genuine or anything. Okada is not better than Keiji Muto, by the way, or the Great Muta. As great as Okada is, but Callis props him up and says he's better than all these Japanese legends. They brought Okada here. They brought Okada to Kent, Washington. Now, it's cool for the people there, but really? And we get Omega Okada recaps. Okay, cool. Callis gets shut the fuck up chance, says Omega has no friends. Here's Mark Briscoe. He's back. We haven't seen him since the previous match. And he says, well, I'm his friend, but I'm not his only friend. And suddenly music, shadowboxing. It's Kota Ibushi, who we haven't seen since he basically phoned it in the War Games Blood and Guts thing, and then busted both of his legs at a Noah show, I think. And then also showed up at one point after that healed and had a staph infection on his goddamn shoulder that apparently is healed. He looks like he's in great shape. I mean, we haven't seen him in about 5 million years. Ibushi is here. They brought Ibushi to this show. And then him at, of all locations, of all I'm glad that my state got something, but really? For Collision, a throwaway show? And then Okada and Ibushi get him. I don't even know if you could call it much of a scuffle or whatever that was. Jesus. I know they're both older. I know that they both have had injuries. I'm not saying lay your shit in like it's the Tokyo Dome. But you could have swung over each other's heads and connected better. All right, there you go. Then we come back from break, and the workhorseman of J.D. Drake and I believe Anthony Henry, the guy with a lot of tattoos, I know that much, were fighting with Big Bill and Brian Queef, and they were getting in a big old scuffle, and J.D. got his head bashed into the whole goddamn steps a few times, and a choke slam on some chairs to Henry. The patriarchy shows up. It's not Seattle, Christian. I know that you've suffered a few head injuries, but you're about 20 miles off. Nick Wayne in Washington State again. That's good. And it seems like Cage wants to be the first father-son, tag team champions in AEW. And Big Bill proceeds to talk about, how, you're the adoptive father because we've heard about Shayna. Anybody can be the father. Don't you pick on Shayna Wayne, you freaking tall moron. Freaking goddamn idiot. I could outsmart you with a shiny object. And I know it was supposed to be played for cheapy, but who are the heels here? Well, whatever. It's fine. I don't care. But Shayna is a really, really nice lady, and I will be damned if people are going to besmirch her name. Seriously, I've met her, talked to her a couple times. Granted, it's been a few years at indie shows, but very nice lady. And yeah, there you go. So, this went a while. Boy, did it ever. And last week, Billy was encouraging Bowens, but it seems like there is strife because Bowens wants to climb the ladder. And then Jet Speed, Jet Knight, and Speedball Mike Bailey took on the Gates of Agony. Bishop Khan and Toa Leona. Ricochet joined commentary because he's still looking for people to join his group. His group that I'm certain they're going to forget about, and then they're going to eventually do something where they're going to have, they're going to have it be a popcorn fart. I'm sorry I don't buy Speedball. I just don't. He may be a black belt in Taekwondo. Not disputing that. He doesn't seem like a bad guy. I don't believe any of his shit in the ring. And it went for a while. It really went for a while. Eventually, Knight hit a big old splash and got the victory. 1, 2, 3. And then we had the women come out for the main event. It is Thunder Rosa, and I love Thunder Rosa. Poor Thunder Rosa not being featured better. And I'm not saying you need to have her always in the main event mix. She's one of the best wrestlers they have on the roster. Not just women. One of the best wrestlers they have on the roster. Anna Jay has improved. Ty Mello is about what she's going to be, which was average at best. And Queen Aminata taking on Athena, Tekla, whatever. Is it Tekla? I think it's Tekla. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Billy Starks was in Athena's corner, so technically in the corner of all the heels, and bless the women for trying. The massive miscommunication, or they had their time cut, or something, and they had an overrun. Oh boy, I'm sorry. Thunder Rosa got pinned after some bullshit shenanigans with a distraction by Billy. Red Velvet coming down and handing the title to Athena so she could blast Thunder Rosa in the face. Oh boy. Yeah, there you go. That's Collision. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry if that's not up to snuff. I truly am. But while I would have loved to have seen a few people live, I'm glad I didn't go to this show. I'm glad I'm not going to Dynamite. I'm going to save my energy for going to a live show for Wrestle Dream if they still have it here. We'll see. That being said, I'm still paying more attention to AEW's weekly programming than I am WWE's. It's just, for every positive that there is with either promotion, there are just things that just drive me to just not care as much. So agree, disagree, what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rethlin, and until we meet again, happy trails to you.